Hey guys, we're going to talk about the latest Walking Dead episode. It was called Service, and it ran for about 85 minutes, so that's the one we're talking about. And we're going to jump into sort of revisiting Rick here, his first appearance since the premiere. And, he was very broken. That was the whole point of the premiere.
Consider this your spoiler warning.
Yeah.
We're moving on past it. But yeah, it was a lengthy episode that I'm anticipating already people yelling it was slow, but it was time to see what life with Negan will be like. Mm-hmm. We didn't, last week's Daryl episode, we really got into Daryl's headspace and Dwight's headspace.
Yes.
This one, I don't necessarily think we got into Rick's headspace, but in an intentional way. Because we as the audience are supposed to think Rick's broken. I wasn't entirely convinced.
Yeah, that was my thing about it is, given that the sort of premiere was all about like the breaking of Rick Grimes, and that's sort of obviously what Negan is trying to do to everyone.
And I'm going to keep saying headspace. That one was very much in his headspace.
yeah, it's a lot of people's headspace. That is definitely his thing.
I didn't even mean it
Too
like that.
Too soon. But here, I felt like they were undercutting it too quickly, because if you're going to be like, he broke Rick in a way Rick's never been broken before, but then instantly, the first thing Rick does is lie about Maggie, which I'm glad they let us know for sure. I mean, it was obvious that he was lying, and then very soon after we got this, that's
the
underlined.
one thing Father Gabriel has done that hasn't annoyed me in 6 seasons, even though I know he's been on for only a couple seasons, but digging those graves and flat out lying to Negan in a very convincing way. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the Maggie lie. I thought that was really interesting because so much of the end of the episode when Rick makes Michonne give up the rifle, to earn Negan's trust, right? He's like, his argument to Michonne is, if he found that rifle, I don't want someone else to die.
Yeah.
Now, if he finds out they're lying about frickin' Maggie,
if he dug up that grave and no one's there,
they're gonna be in trouble. And so I'm trying to understand what the balance of a lie versus a truth to Rick is. Like, obviously, if they said, Maggie left, Negan would say, well, first of all, why and where is she? Like, they'd get in immediate trouble, and then he definitely would go to Hilltop, which is where I'm assuming that she is. It seems like that's where she and Sasha went to try and get her. So that's one person down, right? That Rick is immediately protecting. But I feel the same way. I'm like, if they're going to be in a world of hurt, and Negan's cronies are obviously going to go check in on Hilltop soon. So I don't necessarily understand Rick's justification or where Rick draws the line there, but it is our biggest hint that he's not broken.
Yeah, and then the other big thing that they did multiple times was the showing the close-up where he was very close to hitting him with that bat. Yeah. Now, clearly, that was part of Negan's whole game. Give him Lucille, walk around next to him, and kind of test him, right? But just to show us those close-ups and constantly be like, look, he could do it, he's close. I don't know, again, I felt like it is too soon since the premiere. If they're trying to be like, this is Rick broken in a way we've never seen, if we're already getting the sign that he's that close, he's that close to turning on this guy, he's already lying to him.
If anything, he's just pissing off everyone in his community.
yeah. So I don't know. I felt like if you're, the whole idea is to sort of take Rick to a place he's never been, they should have gone further with it, and he really should have drank the Kool-Aid and been all in.
Or convince us for at least more than one episode that he has, instead of this one, which does hint that he's not. I also think it's a little interesting, in the comics, Negan never just strolled out. He wasn't just around that easily. Rick totally could have just killed Negan there. Yeah. And in the comics, there was more of a barrier. It wouldn't have been simple to just whip out a gun real fast and shoot him in the head or hit him with Lucille.
He is highly killable here.
Yeah, which is, I think, a little interesting. I think part of it is just wanting to build up Negan as a character. We get a lot of Negan. Negan's coming on real strong. Strong in the show.
And a lot of him is a lie.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked what they did with him in the last episode where it was tempered. This one, it's basically him narrating stream of consciousness throughout the whole thing. And at a certain point, I was like, I get it. I'm sure, people probably really, really liked him for this. For me, I thought it got to be a bit much, even though I understood what they were trying to convey.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the character, he's a big character by design, but this episode, and I did think this episode was way too long. I mean, we watched it on a screener, so it was 59 minutes for us with no commercials, and it felt too long. I know on TV it's going to be 85 minutes with commercials. And it just felt like, they could have trimmed this one down maybe. When you see a near 90 minute episode of Walking Dead, you figure like, oh man,
it's a big one.
It's a big one, and it wasn't. So
yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes from there. How much more time we'll spend in Alexandria with Rick, trying to make everyone play by Negan's rules, or if it's going to be, the next time we cycle back around to Kingdom and go back to Sanctuary, right? That's Negan's compound's name. I for some reason could not remember the name of it the past couple weeks. But once we get back to Alexandria, if that'll be, episode 7 or 8, and then suddenly Rick's ready to break.
Right.
Then, in which case it'll feel a little rushed, all things considered, considering all the build-up to the premiere and Rick being broken.
Right, yeah. They need to let him be broken a little longer. Yeah. But those are our thoughts. Yeah.
Our wishes for The Walking Dead.
Our wishes for Walking Dead.
just make him.
Really destroy him.
Really
all the way.
Break his character now.
Anyway, those are our thoughts on this episode. What did you think? What did you think of the episode in general and of where Rick's at? Where's Rick's mind?
Headspace.
Where's his headspace? Is he broken enough, to sort of buy into, or is it already, a little too much of the old Rick seeping in? Let us know what you think in the comments. For plenty more on The Walking Dead, keep it here at IGN.